I think it's absolutely essential for everyone here and also everyone that's watching the live stream for us to understand exactly where we are. We are protesting outside of Adam Smith's fundraiser that he is calling a taste of the ninth, that he asked supporters to come to Hungary. That is while he has voted to support the ongoing occupation and blockade of Gaza, while people in Gaza and Palestinians are starving. And he says, come hungry. What do we think about that? This event is not a taste of the ninth. It is a taste for genocide.
That's right.
I stand before you today as a rank and file union member, speaking not just for myself, but also for my local, that passed a ceasefire resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and against the oppression of anti-genocide protesters on campuses. Other workers in my local last year who work on campuses across the country were facing oppression from their administrations. And we know that as the labor movement and rank and file workers and the working class, that an injury to one is an injury to all, and that we need to fight back against the oppression of anti-genocide protesters. And that resolution that fought for a ceasefire in Gaza and against campus oppression was based off the resolution that Kshama Sawant's Socialist City Council office won that was the strongest in the country. What has Adam Smith done?
Nothing!
Worse than nothing. He has voted to continue the blockade of Palestinian people, to fund the Israeli genocide in Gaza, and has called for anti-genocide protesters. He has called them left-wing fascists. And he has called for their arrest. Who should be arrested?
Adam Smith!
Who should be locked up?
Adam Smith!
That's right. What we need is working class solidarity. We need rank and file members to be passing those resolutions in their unions, fighting their leadership. Shame on Leuna leadership for hosting Adam Smith, the funder of this genocide, a Democratic corporate politician who, as Josie has said, has attacked working people time and time again, betrayed them just like the rest of the Democratic Party.
That's right!
Hey! It is a betrayal of the working class to host a Democratic warmongering politician.
That's right!
And every rank and file member of every union should reject it.
Yeah!
What we need instead is independent socialist Kshama Sawant fighting for us, rank and file workers, working class people, fighting against this genocide, fighting for rent control, fighting for free public health care for all. Adam Smith, you can't hide!
You are funding genocide!
Adam Smith, you can't hide!
You are funding genocide!
Adam Smith, you can't hide!
You are funding genocide!
That's right, thank you.
Hey, hey, ho, ho!
Adam Smith has got to go!
Hey, hey, ho, ho!
Adam Smith has got to go!
Hey, hey, ho, ho!
Adam Smith has got to go!
Well, my friends, we should be proud of this protest because this is one of the many protests that are happening throughout this nation and across the world against the genocide in Gaza. We are in good company. Not only is the horrific slaughter of 500,000 Palestinians and more happening in Gaza, we just heard that Israel, admittedly by Israel, carried out a targeted bombing to kill 5 5 Al Jazeera journalists. And in total, as far as we know, 173 journalists have been killed in targeted bombings by the Israeli state. There is mass starvation, and the children, the babies and the children who are the most vulnerable are dying first. And on top of that, we are seeing people who are desperately hungry and going to the food aid sites to get a little bit of food for their family, facing overhead snipers and bombings. This is a Holocaust of the 21st century, and this Holocaust has been possible only because of the endless support from US imperialism and its two parties, the Democratic and Republican parties. Tens of billions of dollars have gone to fund this genocide and continue to go to support the Israeli ruling class in carrying out these horrors. But it is not imperialism in general, it is the specific spokespeople of imperialism and capitalism who are allowing this to happen, which means individual politicians like Adam Smith. And in fact, Adam Smith is not some rookie Congress member. He bears a special responsibility for this genocide.
That's right.
He is a long-time ranking member and former head of the House Armed Services Committee. He has proudly voted for every war that came across his desk. And as others have said, he also specifically voted to ban US funding for United Nations food aid for Gaza, which was the main source of food and basic sustenance for the people in Gaza. Adam Smith voted to ban US funding for food in Gaza even after reports from over 21 credible global organizations were warning that mass starvation had already reached catastrophic levels by December 2023 and that famine was imminent. He voted to ban food aid after those reports.
Shame!
And around the country we are seeing repression, and in fact around the world, as we heard, we are seeing repression of the anti-genocide movement. It is important that we stand in solidarity with everybody who is facing repression in their courageous fight to end the genocide.
That's right. That's right.
As it was said before, an injury to one is an injury to all. And we have to stand with the students in Columbia University who are facing, disgustingly, facing sanctions from their administration. Dozens upon dozens of students are being expelled, suspended, facing degree revocation and other consequences. Why? Because they had the courage to speak up.
That's right.
Make no mistake, the history books will write an accounting of who was on the side of the genocide and who was on the side of stopping the genocide. But our task right now, one of our tasks right now is to deny, this is our moral and political duty, to deny Adam Smith and all these other Democrats any ability to whitewash their genocidal record.
That's right.
Adam Smith has blood on his hands and he needs to be tried for war crimes.
That's right.
Smith says he will fight Trump. This is absurdly a lie. For the past 7 months since Trump took office, Smith and the Democratic Party have played dead in response to Trump's brutal attacks while carrying out attacks of their own in cities and states across the country. That includes the Democratic Party carrying out billions of dollars of cuts in public services in our state, in Washington State, where they control the governor's mansion and have a majority in both houses.
That's right.
Adam Smith said if, his advice to the Democratic Party was not to fight Trump. His advice to the Democratic Party you want to stand up to Trump, I suggest you never mention him again. In December, appearing with Seattle-based Trump-supporting podcast host Brandy Cruz, he railed against what he called quote-unquote extreme left policies of the Democratic Party. You know what? I wish the Democratic Party had extreme left policies.
That's right.
But they don't.
Yeah.
Right. They support the warmongering billionaire class, and he said that the supposed extreme left policies of the Democratic Party handed the election to Trump, and he said this at a time when Biden and Harris were trying to out-Trump Trump.
That's right.
That's right.
One of the right-wing commenters on this show remarked, he sounds more like a Republican than a lot of Republicans.
That's right.
And that is not wrong. That is not inaccurate. That is exactly what's happened. It is this lurch to the right by the Democratic Party, which has been led by pro-corporate warmongers like Smith, that has allowed Trump the space to get re-elected, even though he first left office as the most unpopular president in modern US history.
That's right.
That's right.
The first attack on Medicare and Medicaid did not happen under Trump and the Republicans. They happened under Democratic President Bill Clinton and a Democratic majority House and Senate, and Adam Smith voted alongside those other rotten Democrats to cut $150 billion from Medicaid and Medicare.
Shame!
It is absolutely shameful that the leadership of the labor movement, as Joan said, is standing with Adam Smith in the face of a genocide. In the face of only 32% of the United States supporting the genocide and only 9% of those aged under 35 supporting Israel's actions.
Shame!
The only way we can stop what is happening is to go on the offensive as a working class movement.
That's right!
A lot of the leadership of a lot of left organizations will tell you, we need a new party. We need socialism. We need to overthrow capitalism. But you won't hear them supporting our campaign. So I want to explain why it is important that we set the sectarianism aside and support our campaign. Because we have shown through our decade-long track record at Seattle City on the Seattle City Council that winning even one elected position for a revolutionary socialist can completely upend the political agenda of capitalism. The victories that were won in Seattle, like the highest major city minimum wage, the Amazon tax, and unprecedented renters' rights, were not won by the labor leadership. They were won by my socialist, revolutionary socialist city council office, alongside working people and rank and file union members. And if we win this election, which we have a real chance to win, if we win this election, we are going to turn our inauguration in Washington, D.C. into a day of mass rallies and protests and bring 10,000 people to Washington, D.C. But in order to do that, we will need thousands upon thousands of volunteers to win this campaign, to go out door knocking, tabling, and phone banking and postering. Are we all ready to do this?
Yeah!